Ryland Adams is officially ending his podcast, Emma Chamberlain has left YouTube, and I guess Trisha has rubbed off on Tana because she's calling out Jason Nash. It's a mess, so let's get into it.
Exposed. Exposed. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
Before we get into the tea, I just want to let you guys know today's video is very kindly sponsored by Adam and Eve. Right now, you can use code SPILL to get 50% off of one item in your cart and free shipping to the US and Canada. Some exclusions apply. Adam and Eve donates 20% of their profit to help fight the spread of HIV. They have 24/7 customer service, discreet packaging, and 90-day hassle-free returns. Love that. Once again, that's code SPILL for 50% off of one item in your cart and free shipping to the US and Canada. Some exclusions do apply. Thank you, Adam and Eve, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into the tea. So, last week, Shane and Ryland officially announced they were leaving California and moving to Colorado. I think the videos were pre-filmed far in advance because the moving process is literally happening right now as we speak. But the elephant in the room has been what's gonna happen to this SIP. This podcast was like Ryland's dream. He said so many times that he's always dreamed of having a talk show because he grew up watching them and he just loved everything about them. He said in the past that starting a podcast really felt like he was taking the step in the right direction towards that dream. He created this really nice set, probably spent a ton of money on it, hired Lizzie as a co-host, and even hired a crew, all for it to end not even a year later. But turns out it's not ending. The other day, Ryland uploaded their weekly SIP episode, and it was titled The Last Episode Before We Move. Lizzie's dressed up in all black to mourn the loss of the podcast in a physical setting. They're still going to continue doing the show, it's just going to look a little bit different. The plan is once a month, Lizzie's going to fly to Colorado and they'll pre-film 2 episodes. Then Ryland will fly to California and they'll pre-film 2 episodes there. They said they might end up filming in a hotel room or like a different setting every week, especially when they're in California, because Lizzie apparently doesn't want anyone at her house. Ryland said if there's ever a week where one of them can't fly out to record, they'll do the podcast over the internet. I kind of have a feeling we'll be getting a lot of podcasts that are recorded over the internet because I just can't see flying out every other week to make much sense. I could see if the podcast was a huge source of income and it was really taking off, but it just doesn't seem that realistic. He said his dream was to always have a talk show, but he feels like he's already accomplished that with his podcast. Not really the same, but whatever makes him happy, I guess. Ryland and Shane said this move is what they need. After everything that's happened over the past 2 years, they've realized what's important and their main focus now is starting their own family. Ryland said the moving trucks were coming to pick up all their stuff and move it to Colorado the day after they filmed this episode, and now the next step is getting their old house listed for sale. Now, speaking of Ryland and the whole moving situation, Trisha Paytas actually shaded Ryland and Shane about their move to Colorado on their weekly Enemies podcast. They just said that they're happy the bad energy is finally leaving LA and they don't have to worry about bumping into either Shane or Jeffrey anymore. Moving on, we need to talk about Emma Chamberlain. For the past few months, more and more TikToks have been popping up on people's For You pages about Emma and her mental health. It started off with just concerned fans because she seemed down or wasn't acting like herself in vlogs, but it grew to be much more invasive. People were starting to say that Emma hasn't been going out as much, she's been staying home, she doesn't seem like herself, she must be so bored, and LA has been so toxic for her. Just a lot of bold assumptions from watching such a short chunk of someone's life. Some fans didn't agree with those comments though, claiming the only reason Emma might seem down or not like herself is because of the pandemic. One fan wrote, "The pandemic is obviously a big factor too, but I appreciate that she is the only YouTuber that takes the pandemic seriously. I completely disagree that her vlogs are uninteresting. To me, she makes the most mundane things entertaining. Remember that Emma got famous because she's relatable, and that means not doing much, staying to herself and being a loner." This narrative about Emma got so out of hand that she actually had to address it on her podcast. The episode was called How Am I Really Doing? And the description of the episode reads, "Gossip and rumors have been floating around the internet about Emma's mental health recently. While it's led to some positive reactions, it's also led to a lot of negativity and judgment. Emma is diving into the state of social media today and how it plays into our mental health. Why do people feel the need to stretch narratives and make up lies about others just for likes and retweets? And why are we so drawn to all the drama? Maybe it's time to get off some of the apps." In this episode, Emma pretty much says that she's been having a rough week and a hard time lately, and that's the truth. She talked about how hard it is to admit when she's not doing the best because she has a great life, a great job, and great friends. But Emma says that's a part of being human. She feels like on social media, mental health is only talked about once it's been solved. It's not glamorous to talk about mental health when you're actively struggling. Emma said during the time that those TikToks about her started to go viral, she actually wasn't struggling that bad. And I mean, even if she was struggling, she should be allowed to show her normal life even when she's not in the best state of mind, without fears of these weird TikToks going viral talking about her mental health and making up all these conspiracies. If you watch Emma, you'll know that she stays pretty consistent with her channel. But she actually decided to finally take her own advice and take a break. She missed one of her upload days and updated her community tab and said, "I took this week off to make cheese boards and go to the beach and clear my mind, so no video this week, but I will see you soon. I love you all and I hope you had a relaxing and beautiful Sunday." Then the following week, she said, "Taking a few more weeks off to think. I need to take my own advice and take a break when it's needed. This isn't a negative thing though. I'm thinking a lot about how I can evolve and make things that truly excite me. I haven't taken a step back in a long time to ask myself what that means. I love and appreciate you, and I will see you soon." Emma ended up coming out of her break early though and posted a weekly vlog, and it was just a normal day in her life. Now, hopefully this time around, no one makes up any of those weird TikTok conspiracies over it. Finally, we have to talk about Miss Tana Moshe. Tana's new canceled podcast is honestly so messy. I think she's trying to say whatever she wants because she's trying to get people talking about it and be like the next frenemies or something. Well, on this week's episode, Tana accused Jason Nash of stalking her. Recently, Tana moved into David Dobrik's old house, and a lot of weird stuff has been happening. Apparently, David Dobrik's house was so public, now that fans know she moved in, people have been showing up uninvited non-stop. From her podcast, it sounds like she's trying to get out of there as soon as possible because it's just not safe. Tana said the most recent weird thing to happen was a note being left on her front door from someone claiming to be friends with David Dobrik and also having a large following on social media.
And it says, "Letter to Tana Moshe. Hello, gorgeous. This is a secret letter from your biggest lover, who also happens to have a large social media following. Here is a clue to my identity. What is old but acts young at the same time?"
Jason Nash.
I was just gonna say Jason Nash. I swear to God, I was just gonna say that.
Jason Nash.
I swear to God, I was just gonna say that. That was so strange. Oh my God. P.S. I am friends with the previous owner of this house. Winky emoji. Post on all signs point to Jason Nash.
Even though Tana and Jason don't have the best history, a lot of people don't think it's actually Jason. The riddle is obviously describing Jason, but I don't think it's actually him. Probably a fan pulling a prank, trying to stir up some Jason, Tana, Trisha drama. Okay, but we all know Jason's a little off, but I don't think he'd go that far. Maybe just a random person did that and wants her to think that it was Jason. Not defending him or anything. Also, Tana knew what she was getting herself into when she moved into David Dobrik's old house. Trisha probably left the note while she was there, so people think it's Jason and trash on him with her. Honestly, at this point, if someone told me that was true, I'd probably believe it. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.